Today we're going to be going over 10 mistakes that football players will make in college recruiting. Now, mistake number one is going to be not using social media. So guys, college coaches across the country, where they go to actually recruit athletes is on X, formerly known as Twitter. So if you're a high school football player, even a middle school football player, and you have dreams and aspirations of playing at the next level and you're not utilizing Twitter properly, then you're making a huge mistake. You guys need to make a profile on there to be able to connect with college coaches. You don't need to be uploading and tweeting all the time, but you need to at least have some type of social media presence. So in your Twitter bio, you should have your name written out, full name, graduating class, position you play, maybe some marketable attribute about yourself, like let's say it's your height and weight, maybe you're like 6'3", whatever weight, and then have some type of link to your film, whether that's varsity film. If you don't have varsity film, then I really would not put a link, but you could upload different clips of you training in the offseason, etc. But that's a place where college coaches can easily find your information and you can engage with them. You could follow different college coaches on the app, send them messages. Nowadays, to be able to message certain people, you have to be verified. It's not that expensive. I recommend paying for the verification on there. But if you're not using social media, that's a massive mistake that you're making in the recruiting process. Now, mistake number two, you guys, is not having a compelling or a first 5 plays on your highlight tape stand out. So guys, college coaches, there's a lot of hype in the recruiting process. People talk a lot about 7-on-7 camps, all this stuff, but what's most important is your varsity film. College coaches want to see what you can do on Friday nights under the bright lights, and that's ultimately what they want to see. Now, the mistake a lot of people make with their varsity highlight film is that it's not compelling. It doesn't stand out within the first 5 plays. Guys, a college coach will probably watch 1 minute of your highlight tape, maybe honestly 3 plays of your highlight tape, and already have his mind made up whether you're a college level football player at whatever division that is, D1, D2, D3, whatever. So the first 5 plays of your highlight tape, you guys, they need to be the absolute best plays that show that you're an explosive playmaker. Now, let's say you're a receiver, but you also play you also return kicks, you also return punts, you play defense. Don't leave those defensive plays till the end of your film. Don't separate it. Your best 5 plays, regardless of what side of the ball you're on, needs to be first in your tape. Now, also, fellas, something college coaches look for in athletes is the eye test. So what the eye test means is that you need to look like a college football player. You need to have the size, you need to be able to have the weight, you need to be able to have the strength of a college football player. So if you guys are looking to put on size this offseason, check out that very first link in the description below for a great whey protein powder specifically designed for athletes to help them gain weight. This whey protein powder is by AG Labs. This is our salted caramel frappuccino flavor, but we also have 3 other flavors similar to this one, like cookies and cream, cinnamon snickerdoodle, that tastes fantastic. Some of the best tasting protein that I have ever had. So if you guys want some protein that tastes good, helps you gain weight this offseason, check out again that very first link in the description below. If you want to use the promo code FIRST25, FIRST25, you can get 25% off your first order. So again, guys, very first link in that description below. Let's get back to this video. Now, mistake number 3, your highlight tape is too long. So a lot of guys, what they'll do on their highlight tape is they will make this 7-8 minute long tape of just routine and average plays. Guys, your highlight tape needs to be exactly that. It needs to be explosive plays and actual highlights. So for example, if you're a receiver and let's say you run a post route against zone coverage and you're just wide open by 10 yards, it's just an easy pass catch and you walk into the end zone. It's not a highlight, guys. Yeah, it's a touchdown, great, congratulations, but that does not matter. College coaches don't want to see that. They want to see highlights. They would rather see you catch a 3-step slant versus press, work a good move, catch the ball, turn up, break a tackle, and maybe only get a 20 to 25 yard gain, but that's an explosive play, not a routine play. So keep your highlight tape within 1 to 3 minutes of explosive plays. Now, mistake number 4, not going to college camps. So I think college camps, they get, I think, heavily over promoted. I don't think college camps are as important as everybody makes them out to be, but they are important to ultimately go to where you are known. Okay, so what I mean by that is, like, a lot of athletes, what they do, like, I live in Southern California, right? So every single year, the big camp that they have every offseason is USC and UCLA. They'll put on a camp and you get kids from all over the state that go to this camp that have never once even communicated with a coach on the staff of USC or UCLA. And I'm gonna tell you this right now, guys, you go to those big state school camps, single staff camps, there's gonna be probably 300 to 400 kids there. You're gonna be sitting in line half the time, and coaches aren't even gonna pay attention to you because they already know their guys going in. They have, like, Division I schools, you guys, I'll tell you this right now, they start their recruiting process as soon as the college football season ends for them, which is like December, January. So they've been recruiting guys in winter summer camps. in June, July. So they've been recruiting guys for 6 to 7 months. They invited them to their camp. They're probably not paying to be there also. And those are the guys that they're looking at, because those are the ones that they ultimately want to see, not some random dude from wherever who they've never talked to, they've never seen film on, etc. So if you guys are communicating with coaches via Twitter, via X, or via maybe they've come out to your school and you've gone, or you go to different like satellite camps where there's multiple staffs in attendance, those are the best things to go to. Go where you're known and go where there are multiple staffs in attendance. We call those satellite camps or mega camps. That's what I could recommend to you. Don't waste your time with these big state school camps. Granted, you may be talented enough to go there, but you're not going to get noticed by a camp. You're going to get noticed by your film. Now, mistake number 5 that athletes will make at camps is not doing things to help themselves stand out. So a great piece of advice I could give to you is, 1, wear something bright. You're going to be in a situation where you're going to have a lot of kids. Like, let's say University of Colorado, what's their colors? Like black, white, gold, right? So let's say you all have a camp t-shirt that's white. Everybody looks the same, right? And then let's say you have white and black cleats. You know how many other kids are going to have white and black cleats as well? Say you're wearing white socks. Every other kid's going to have white socks. But what you can do is maybe wear something bright. So wear a pair of cleats that are like neon green. Wear a pair of shorts that are neon green. Wear a pair of socks that are very, very bright, because that might catch a coach's eye. He may pay attention to you. You might do something really well, and he may remember you just based off of that. So guys, do those little details to help you stand out once you're amongst a crowd of a bunch of athletes. Now, mistake number 6 that athletes will make is not having a good relationship with their high school head coach. You guys have to understand again how the recruiting process works. College coaches, like as soon as, like we said earlier, when the football season ends December, January, in January there's something called a contact period. And a contact period is when college coaches are allowed, like legally allowed, to go to different high schools across the country to scout talent, to recruit players, to talk to players, see players throw for them, work out for them, whatever. So during that contact period, the first person that they go up to, the first person that they contact is your high school head coach. So that all breaks down to just being a good teammate and putting the team first during your actual football season. A lot of guys get very, like the very individual like mindset, I guess you could say, where it's just all about them, all about me, all about my recruiting process. I'm trying to get out, I'm trying to get offers, and they neglect the team aspect of football. But what that's going to do is that's going to piss off your head coach. And you don't want your head coach to have a bad opinion of you, because he is not going to recommend you to the bunch of college coaches that you ultimately meet. Like, let's say you're an 8th grader, right? And you're deciding on what high school to go to. And let's say you want to go to a high school because, oh, well, this coach has a lot of connections. He has a tradition of getting people to the D1 level. But when you get there, you're an idiot, you're missing practice, you have bad grades, you're not a team first guy. That dude's not going to refer you to his college connection. So you have to make sure that you're a team first dude. Show up to every practice, make sure you're doing the little things right to get on the good side of your coach so he could promote you to those different schools that come through. Now, one of the biggest mistakes that athletes can make in their recruiting process is missing school. So if you guys miss classes during that contact period, the more days that you're gone, the more missed opportunities that a college coach might be there and might be looking for some talent. And if you're not at school, then they're obviously not going to recruit you. You guys, your best trait is availability in this recruiting process. So let's say a coach from like UCLA comes to your high school and he's talking to your coach and he's like, hey, I want to recruit a really great receiver. We're looking for receivers. Do you have anybody? And he's like, yeah, I would love for you to meet, XYZ player. He calls up, oh, okay, he should be in this class right now. He calls up the teacher to try to get him out of class, and you're not there. You're missing school because you're sick, or you're missing school because you just don't feel like going. Maybe you skipped a class, whatever. 1, not a good look. 2, that's a missed opportunity to actually perform for a college coach. So that's usually how it goes, you guys. During that contact period, athletes get pulled out of class all the dang time, so you have to be at school if you want to take full advantage of that period. Now, another thing that I hate that athletes will do, which is one of the biggest mistakes in the recruiting process, is worrying about stars and rankings. Guys, the stars and the rankings go to the best football players, but honestly, like, who are those people even making the stars and the rankings? They're usually guys that have never even played football. They have this website. They're trying to get more views on their website, so advertisers will pay them more money. So yeah, of course, they're going to want to write articles about 5-star, this 4-star, and they're going to make all these rankings so people go to their website. You guys, it's one total scam, because I'm going to tell you this right now. When you get to college, nobody cares. They could care less about how many stars you were, what you were ranked. They care if you're the best possible football player, because in college, all the politics is gone. It's a business, and it's one of the most cutthroat businesses there is. As if a coach doesn't perform well, his ass is fired the next year, and he's not even on the staff. So they're going to put the best guys on the field. They could care less what your ranking was. So you shouldn't set out to be like, okay, I'm going to try to be a 4-star. How can I get ranked on this website, on Rivals 24/7? That shouldn't be your mindset, you guys. Your mindset should be, how can I be the best possible football player I can be? Can I get my film in front of the right college coaches? Can I go to the right college camps where those college coaches are going to be there? Can I get college coaches to come out to my school during the contact period that we just mentioned? Guys, that should be your focus. The stars and the rankings, those will happen if you're good enough, and if they're not, not, it really doesn't matter anyways. Now, another mistake that athletes will make in the recruiting process is comparing themselves to other athletes further along on their recruiting journey, or maybe a little bit ahead of where they are right now. So like, let's say you're a freshman in high school, sophomore in high school, and you're looking around, you're like, oh man, that guy has that offer, that guy's getting interest from this school, whatever. And the longer you spend comparing yourself to other players, the more of a distraction it is from what you need to do as a player to get better, to actually get on their level. Guys, there's gonna be thousands of players every single year that get recruited. So there's no point in you counting somebody else's money and just being like, oh man, he's got this offer, how come I don't have it, and getting discouraged. Please do not compare yourself to other players. You need to focus on what you need to do. So having a great highlight tape, getting bigger, getting stronger, getting faster, and being able to go to camps, just focus on your own game. There's all kinds of stories. Like every single NFL player, probably, you guys, does not have the exact same recruiting process. And especially now with the transfer portal, JUCO football being popular, and being able to like go to like a prep school, those different options on the East Coast, like all these guys, there's so many things that factor into the recruiting process. Everybody's journey is different. So please do not try to compare yourself to somebody else and play that, oh, I'm counting how many offers he has and he has. It's just a distraction, and it's going to prevent you from actually achieving your goal. Now, one mistake that can serve as a huge distraction for athletes in the recruiting process is worrying about your height. Guys, at the end of the day, height, can't control it. Listen, believe me, I wish I could control it, but you can't control it. It's one of those things that's purely genetic. There's nothing that you could do to get taller. Maybe trying to get more sleep so you grow, because you grow when you sleep, right? You've probably heard all of those things before. There's nothing you can do. You're either going to be tall or you're going to be short. So there's no point in worrying about that and stressing about that. Like if you're a receiver and you know that you're probably done growing and you're like 5'9", 5'10", okay, cool. There are examples of 5'9", 5'10" players playing college football. And you know what all those guys have? Speed, quickness, great route running, great hands. They return kicks, return punts. Like those are the attributes. So if it's been done before and you could see those comparisons, that's what you should be focusing on is, okay, what do I need to do with my game to get to that level? But don't waste any time worrying about your height.